50 and I'm basically exhausted. I'm so freaking tired. I don't know. I did everything right in terms of going to bed and stuff, but this night wasn't great. So I'm feeling totally exhausted. I have a client very early, and then straight after that I need to do the 1,000 rep challenge, because my day's just planned out that way. I don't have any other time I can do it. So it's gonna be fun today. Good morning, everyone. It is coffee time, you guessed it. And you know what? I'm tired. I just need to be honest with you. I mean, this is a raw series. It's 7:17 and I just, you know, that's how I feel right now. I even missed the Germany game yesterday. I didn't, you know, I had it in my schedule and I wanted to watch it. And now the bartender just said, "Oh, how did Germany play?" I said, "What? Who played?" See, it's like, you know, you forget everything. I was so busy with work and stuff. It can be good and bad, you know, up and downs. One other thing, I want to say thank you to you guys. I just already hit 2 days ago 8,000 subscribers, and this is awesome. I mean, it's so cool that you guys believe in this channel and me and my advice, and I don't know, us as a community. I think it's so cool. I really love it. It's now 8,123. We're getting between 80 and 120 subscribers a day, which is freaking insane. I mean, it's great. I bet you're just asking, what's your comment on a ketogenic diet and HICT cardio training? So these are two questions basically. So we'll answer the latter one first. So HICT cardio training, for everyone who doesn't know, I mean, by now you all probably should know what it means, but you've got LIST and HICT. LIST means low intensity steady state, and HICT training means high intensity interval training. So this is your normal jogging, you know, with a steady pace, going out running at one normal, you know, heart rate for a long period of time. Interval training, as it says, it's high intensity intervals where you push yourself to, you know, to heights of 80 to 90, even sometimes bursts out to 100% of your output, and you do that over a certain period, like sprints, for example. There's so much research out there which tells us now that HICT cardio is much better in terms of sustaining muscle mass, building muscle mass. The best way I always say, and the way you can look at it, is look at a sprinter's body and look at a long distance runner body. Which one do you prefer? Very easy, right? It has to do with how they train. And high intensity training builds muscle because it needs fast muscle activation, because it's very much on speed and time, and speed and fast twitch fibers are fibers which you get if you have a large muscle, whereas long distance slow twitching fibers, the red fiber of your muscle group, are you know, they're not that volumized. So that's why we look different when we train different trainings. So I normally do HICT training once or twice a week, not in my 30-day rep challenge, but if you stay on this channel, you're gonna see me do this and talk about this more. Ketogenic diet, what does that mean? Ketogenic just means that you basically go into a state of ketosis, which is that your body switches from sugar burning into fat burning, and doesn't utilize glucose as energy but ketones. And ketones are utilized throughout your fat cells, and actually your brain prefers ketones to glucose, which is really interesting. Your muscles, they burn glucose, your brain, you know, doesn't really bother too much. We all run on everything, but the preferred method is ketones. That's why a lot of people say they're very much alert when they're on a ketogenic diet and so on. Generally speaking, I'm not a fan of it, just because as an athlete, I do believe you need carbs. I do believe you need to fuel your body the right way. But in terms of bodybuilding and in terms of getting lean and on stage, a lot of people use that approach, because carbs, as we know, they hold water and they make you bigger, look fuller and all that stuff. But this is a long discussion. We could talk about this for ages. Generally speaking, I'm a fan of having your macros split more or less equally, getting your sufficient protein with 0.82 grams or 1 gram per pound of body weight, around 20% fat, like 50 to 60 grams for me a day, and the rest is carbs. I think that's the ideal way of doing it, but it depends on you and your body type, because obviously we all are different and we all respond differently to food. So if you are, let's say, carb sensitive, maybe a ketonic diet works for you, but yeah. So these are my thoughts on it. And got these new ventilators or something, and they need ice, so that's why you hear this. You need to wait until the guys finish. Archer's asking, he's saying, Mark, I really love the way you're showing your challenge, and it's really interesting and stuff. It inspires him to do his stuff, and he says, well, would it be possible to show like more of your normal life, what you do and how you train normally and so on? That's exactly my plan. So after the 30-day challenge is over, guys, I'm not gonna do another crazy challenge for 30 days. I mean, this is just, it drowns me mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. I'm not like this normally. So my plan is to, show you everything. In my training varies so much normally. I do martial arts, I do ring training, calisthenics, bodyweight training, like so many stuff, so much things. So that's what I'm going to be showing here. And now it's time for ice again. Alex is saying, well, for more content, why don't you talk about your motivation a little bit? And how do you stick to your goals and stay motivated while you're on track, by the way? Alex, this is the $1 million question, my friend, because that is what will determine if you get to where you want to be or not. It is what is driving you. It's this why question I talked about before. It is why are you doing what you're doing? The what, the actual exercises, and to get you from A to B is freaking fucking easy. It's like, do the work, you get the result. In terms of fitness, I talked about this a million times already. It's a given. There's no way on earth you're not gonna get there. Problem most of the time is we're not sticking to it. That is what is really the problem. The diet and the exercise regime, they can be planned out perfectly, but if you're the person who lets yourself down, guess what? You're not going to reach it. And the only way that's going to happen is if you have the motivation to push through. Now, what is the motivation? What is it? And this is, I can tell you what my motivation is, but you need to figure out what is yours. There are two types of motivation. You've got intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic means it's something which is inspired, which comes from the inside. You're so driven that you go out there and you keep doing it. Extrinsic means an external person needs to shout at you, or you have something external motivating you. That is always a bad thing, because if this external person or thing or whatever it is, stops or goes away, a trainer, whatever, guess what? You're gonna fall off the wagon. So you need to find something from the inside which motivates you. Now, in terms of intrinsic motivation, there are again two. One is called moving towards, and the other one is moving away from. The moving towards goal is, for example, if you have an idea how you want to look like. You have the body shape of a person. It doesn't have to be you, because you might have never been in this shape, but you idolize someone. You say, that's the exact body type I want. Take a picture of it, and then you're going to be moving towards that target, because you're thinking of that body shape and thinking, okay, that's how I want to look like. On the flip side, you might have, you look at yourself, you're fat, you feel ugly, you feel like you don't, and that is moving away from. So you're moving away from your body type. That can be also very, very strong motivation. So figure out which one is stronger. Is it stronger for you to look at something and thinking that's how I want to look like? Or is it how I look like right now? I really don't like it, and that is your driving motivation to look differently. This is just an example of how this moving away from and moving towards something can work. This works basically not only in fitness, this works with everything. It could be your financial situation, your health, your love situation. They could all be moving away from something you don't like, moving away from, like, let's say with finances is really easy, you're stuck, you have no money, you're in debt, it's all shit. you hate this situation, so you want to get out of that situation because it's so pressing. That's your motivation. For fitness, most of the time, I think it's something both. It's a little bit you don't like how you look like, but you have something you want to achieve. One other thing I would say about goals is make sure you give yourself a date. Don't just work out and say, yeah, one day, you know, I'm gonna look like that. Put a date into a diary saying, I'm gonna go on this 12-week transformation, 16-week, 20-week, whatever, and really go for it. And then after that, once you hit that goal, whatever that might be, you set another one. That's exactly what I'm doing on this. So, I mean, I'm doing little things like challenges like 2 weeks and 30 days. But if you really want to change up your body shape and want to lose a lot of fat, that's not going to happen that quick. I mean, I talked about that earlier. So make sure that you give yourself enough time. And don't expect the absolute impossible, because then if you don't reach this goal, you're going to be feeling very, very, you know, down, unsatisfied, and you're probably going to give up. So, for example, if you say, well, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week, and you only made it 5 times, you're going to feel bad, right? Or if you say, I'm going to go 4 times a week, and you go 5 times, you feel good. So it's the same amount of times you went to the gym, but in one case you felt good, in the other one you felt bad. So make sure it's all working out for you. Yeah, I hope this helped you guys. Alright guys, I finished now in the gym, and yeah, I took it easy again. Alright guys, I'm back home now. I couldn't film again in the gym, you know, it's like a bit of pain in the butt. Like, literally, I'm filming butts. So, that's not a good thing. Well, all in all, the workout went well. This time I changed something up. I actually did 4 sets instead of 5 and increased the rep ranges. So, what that means is, instead of 4 times 20, I did 5 times 20, I did 4 times 25 and 50 sit-ups instead of 40. Yeah, you might need to rewind this if you want to. And then I wanted to share something. You might see me with earphones quite a lot running around. And I'm actually not listening to music. Like I told you guys, part of my day is to educate myself. And I listen to various podcasts, and one of them I want to mention is Ben Greenfield. He's like a fitness expert in the US. Very well respected. I've been listening to him for years now. And I want to share something which I heard on his podcast, which is really cool. The FDA in the US has just released new food labels, which means you probably, if you're living in the US, you know that they look a bit different now. Meaning you've got more information on there in terms of for example, serving sizes. You know, when you have a food label, what happens normally is that the serving size, or let's say, I think he took the example of kombucha, you know, it's like a drink. And the serving size says, well, it's like 40 calories. But if you then, in the matter of fact, serving sizes are mostly so small that the actual calories they need to display are very little, which makes you believe it's a healthy sort of option. But the matter of fact is that you normally need to at least have double the serving size to be satisfied. So that's what they adjusted, which is really cool. They added some more macronutrients and stuff. Trace minerals, potassium is, for example, one of them they added, which is really good. I think they took away the amount of calories in fat, which is also actually a good thing, because most people stop eating foods because they're high in fat. But as we know, fat is not the bad guy. It's mostly the sugar content, and that's something they added as well. I think they now tell added sugar, which is really cool. We know that fruits obviously have sugar, but the added sugar is the bad bit of everything, not the fruit sugar or fructose in the fruit. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm going to do these little bite-sized educational plugins once in a while, because I think it's good for you guys to stay on track what's going on in fitness, health and nutrition. And that's why you should subscribe to this freaking channel, because I'm the guy who's doing all of this shit. Actually, I decided to eat some eggs before I go to sleep, just because I feel quite hungry and want to make sure that after training, get some protein in. Eggs, a little bit of grated cheese, not too much today. Pan, here we go. pepper. I'm actually a pepper fan, so you're probably gonna think this guy's crazy, but I love pepper. Alrighty, here we go, guys. That's basically what I'm eating now. I'm eating just the egg. I'm gonna sip like half of the monster. I'm gonna sip through it the whole day, I guess. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. The thing is with me, I'm sort of a fast metabolizer with caffeine, meaning I can drink a lot of caffeine without feeling it. Only if it goes to a really high amount. If I drink like 3 of these, then obviously I'm gonna be fucked. Alright, got everything set up, my little office here. So all I normally need is my laptop. I have always a bit of white paper because I do need to sometimes chuck down some notes which I do want to throw away. But then I'm also using a Moleskine book. By the way, all these links are in the description below. If you want to know what kind of gear I'm using, they're all in the description below. And obviously my iPad Air, which I love using as well. Yeah, so now it's 1:20. I had my little sleep in, which is great. What does this hairstyle remind you of? I would be very curious what you think, because I get a lot of comments on that. But I'd love to hear your comment. Don't bother about the hair sticking out on the side. It's more about the ponytail at the top and sort of this look. Let me know who you think I am. Obviously Mark, but you know. I'm gonna start my editing process now. I'm gonna make a coffee and I'm gonna have some blueberries. Finally, the post office is coming to pick up the Olympic rings. On the way back to Amazon or wherever this stuff came from. Waiting for the refund now. So Daniel is asking me, so why are you doing intermittent fasting, and also why did you put 2,000 calories onto your MyFitnessPal account? Now, first of all, very good, you paid attention how much calories I'm eating a day. But that's not really true. I'm not eating exactly 2,000. I haven't updated my FitnessPal, actually. That's the only reason why. Why am I doing intermittent fasting? Well, there's so many benefits which I talked about earlier in the dieting series as well, so just check that out. And if you want me to go into it more in detail, let me know. I'll do that. Leave a comment in the comment box below. Just wanted to show you guys, I'm sticking to my diet. I'm also, if something works, then there's no need to change it up all the time. So I'm eating the same thing more or less, not every day, but you know, now a couple of days in a row because it works for me at the moment. I'm answering your questions, and this is, again, you've just seen it. It's oats, chia seeds and flax seeds and some unsweetened almond milk. That's all I'm eating. There's 150 grams of oats, 30 grams of flax seeds and 10 grams of chia seeds. Guys, I'm back home, done all my stuff. I'm just gonna show you what I'm eating tonight. I just read a question of you guys asking me about the salad. It's always without dressing, by the way. And then I've got some tomatoes on there. We've got sea bass again, scampi's, Greek yogurt, and this chili sauce, which is quite nice. I'm also having a glass of wine today, because this is something I want to teach you as well. It is about having fun and not taking everything so serious. You know, I talked about drinking alcohol. It is fine to have it once in a while, and today I decided to have a glass of wine. So that's gonna go very nicely with the fish. Okay guys, do you want to learn martial arts? Then get ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Start punching, and like button, and next punch. Subscribe button. There you go. See, you're an expert now. Easy, right? I'll see you tomorrow.